Good morning everybody. I am MD Patra. I am electrical expert of MQD education. So viewers, last class we have discussed about what are the series and parallel circuits, how we are calculating resistance in series circuits, parallel circuits, and how we are calculating the value of power in this series and parallel circuits. So in that case we have seen that we can solve one circuit or network using this series parallel conjugation. But if the circuit is much more complicated, somehow complicated, and that can't be solved by using this simple series parallel condition. So we have to go for some certain laws in electrical engineering, and we will discuss about that laws, that is Kirchhoff's law. So any electrical network that we are seeing may be series connected and may be parallel connected, and maybe it is a combination of both series and parallel conditions. So when that is the combined series and parallel condition and we are trying to solve it but we can't solve. So therefore for this type of complicated networks we have to go for some laws, that is Kirchhoff's law, Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. We will study about that one. So these are the outcomes when we will study these things. We will use these laws in electrical network and how we can easily solve the problems that we will see today. So before going to Kirchhoff's law, we need to know all these parameters or all these important terms of electrical engineering so that we can solve the complicated networks. So first, this is circuit. Circuit means what? Means it is a closed conducting path through which an electric current flows. That means if we are having a network and it is not closed, in somehow or some point it is open circuited, so no current will flow, so that is not a circuit. It may be connected with wires, we are connecting fans, lights, bulbs, all these things, but we are not switching on. Switch is not on means circuit is open circuit, so no current will flow. So when the switch is on, current is flowing, means circuit is closed, that is known as a circuit. Then if you will go for the parameters, so the various elements of the electrical circuit is known as parameters, such that resistance, inductance and capacitance. These are the circuit parameters. Then if you will go for node, node like what? It is a junction point, like your traffic system. In case of traffic, that is the node, and from that we are going to different paths. So like this in electrical circuit also, if there is a junction and from that junction current is divided into different paths, that is a junction point or node, where two or more elements are connected together, that is a junction point. Then if you will go for branch, branch is what? It is a part of a network which lies between two junctions. Here is one junction, there is one junction. So in between these two junctions we are having one resistance or inductance, or maybe it is a capacitance, that is a branch of a circuit. Then if you will go for loop, it is a closed path in the circuit in which no elements or nodes is encountered more than once. Means loop, in the loop we are having node, we are having branches, means it is a closed path. Then if you will go for mesh, it is a loop that contains no other loop within it. It is the smallest one. It has, means, or here is the key point is, mesh can be a loop, but loop cannot be a mesh. It is the smallest loop, but loop cannot be a mesh. So now we will see what are the nodes, branch and loop in a circuit. So here, if we will see this point and this point, this is one junction or one node. I can tell this is a node because here R1, R6 and R2, all the resistances are connected in node 1. Like this, I can take this is node 2 because R2, this R3, R5 all are connected to this. Means node means where we can divide the currents, where current will be divided. Now here if you will see this entire path, this one, there is no resistance in between this, means it is one short path. So this is also one node, or we can tell it this is datum node. Datum node. This is one node. It is of zero potential, zero voltage. Means this node is an inactive one. In this circuit we are having two active nodes. This is node 1 and node 2. If we will go for the branches, now here you can see this is R2. R2 is connected in between 1 and 2. So this is one branch. This is one branch. This is R6. R6 is connected between node 1 and this datum node. So this is another branch. Similarly, R5, R2 and R3 and R4 is in one branch because it is connected between node 2 and datum node, like this. So these are the branches and this is the node. Then if you go for loop and mesh, now you can see this is a closed loop. This one starting from E, R1, R6 back to E, one closed loop. This is also another closed loop starting from suppose this point 1, R2, R5, R6 like this. This one is another closed loop. Then if we will start from E, R1, R2, R5 back to E. This is also one loop. This is also one loop. Again, if you start from this R2, R3, R4 back to R6. This is also one loop. And if you start from E, R1, R2, R3, R4 back to E. This is also one loop. So here I can tell how many loops here. Number of loops is equal to, this is 1, 2, 3. Then this one 4, 5 and the entire is 6. So number of loops are 6 here. But if we will go for the meshes, the number of mesh here is, the number of mesh here is simply 1, 2 and 3. Number of meshes means mesh is also one loop. Mesh is also one loop, but mesh can't be repeated like this. It is the smallest one. It is the smallest one. So mesh, your number of meshes are 3, but number of loops are 6. So I can tell mesh can be a loop, but loop cannot be a mesh. Loop may contain this branch or the entire branch. There is no problem. That is a loop. Now come to the next slide. Kirchhoff's law. So why we are using this law? This law is useful in determining the equivalent resistance of a complicated network. Equivalent resistance of a complicated network, and also we are calculating various currents flowing through the circuit, voltage drops we can find out by using this Kirchhoff's law. So Kirchhoff's having two laws. One is current law, second one is voltage law. This is Kirchhoff's current law. The statement is what? In any electrical network, the algebraic sum of the currents meeting at a point or a junction is equal to 0. So, if I will take this as an example, this is the junction point. In this junction point, current I1 each outgoing it is going from the junction. Current I2 is incoming, it is coming towards the junction. I3 is also incoming, I4 is outgoing. So algebraic sum of the currents meeting at a point is 0. That means if I will take this I1 outgoing, I4 outgoing, these two, I1 plus I4 must be is equal to I2 plus I3. Or if I will take I1 as positive, I4 as positive, obviously these two must be negative. If it is plus, outgoing current, incoming current, sir, we will take it is minus. So I1 plus I4 minus I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. That is the algebraic sum. Or incoming currents is equal to outgoing currents. This is Kirchhoff's current law. Then if we will go for the second law, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So it is applicable in a loop, that is applicable in a junction, and it is applicable in a loop. The statement is in any loop, the algebraic sum of EMF means electromotive force, that is simply the source, or voltage, simply the source voltage. Algebraic sum of EMF and the algebraic sum of voltage drops is equal to 0. Voltage drop means what? I into R means this is V1, total circuit current into R1, that is V1, circuit current into R2, that is V2, circuit current into R3, that is equal to V3. So algebraic sum of this V4 and all these V1, V2 and V3, that must be is equal to 0. Just we have to see what is the sign convention, if it is minus to plus or plus to minus. Then, so regarding this Kirchhoff's law, we will solve some problems here, and this is the circuit I have taken, and in this circuit we need to find out this current using Kirchhoff's both current law and voltage law, and we will verify. Let's solve this problem using Kirchhoff's voltage law, KVL. So for applying KVL to loop, that means here we are having three number of loops. This is loop number 1, this is loop number 2, and this is loop number 3. The respective currents is I1, I2 and I3. We have to apply KVL first to loop 1. So in this loop 1 we have 60 volt voltage minus this voltage drop across this 2 ohm resistor. So in this 2 ohm resistor we are having two currents is flowing. One is I1, another one is I2. So I can write down here, it should be 2 into I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. This is equation number 1. Because here we are taking loop 1 means the current flowing through loop 1 is greater than loop 2. That's why the current is I1 minus I2. Then if I will apply KVL to loop 2, in loop 2 starting from this point we are having 4, 2 and again this 2 ohm resistor. So it should be 4 into I2 minus this 2 into I2 minus I3 minus this 2 ohm resistor into I2 minus I1. Though I have told you the loop we are considering is loop 2, that's why I2 is greater than I1 and I3. That's why the currents are I2 minus I3 in this branch, and in this branch it is I2 minus I1. This is equation number 2. Then applying KVL to loop 3, this loop. So here we are having one resistor, that is 4 ohm. So minus 4 I3. Then we are having this 30 volt source. So it is from positive to negative. So it should be negative, fall in potential. Minus 30. Then this one. So it should be 2 into I3 minus I2. I3 minus I2 is equal to 0. This is equation number 3. We are having 3 equations here and 3 unknowns I1, I2 and I3. So we can solve these 3 equations and we can find out the values of I1, I2 and I3. Here I want to tell you one thing, that when we are considering one resistor, if we are going like this, means plus to minus, that is fall in potential, So that's why the I into R drop, for this it should be negative. But if we will consider the current is flowing from minus to plus, it is rise in potential. So that's why the sign convention must be plus I into R. But here, though we have taken all the current directions are same, means clockwise, and we are considering all are from higher to lower, plus to minus in all the cases. So that's why in all the cases we have taken the sign convention for these registers are minus. This is the concept. Then after solving I1, I2 and I3, what I need? I need actually this current. So this current, the value of this current is I is equal to, it might be I2 minus I3 or I3 minus I2. It depends upon the values of this I2 and I3. If I2 is greater, so it should be I2 minus I3. If I3 is greater, it should be I3 minus I2. So the value of I will be 11.25 ampere, that you can verify by solving this. So this is KVL, and to the same problem we will apply again. We will apply KCL to this circuit. So by when we will apply KCL, we will consider the node. Suppose this is node 1 and this is node 2, and we have to apply nodal analysis here. Nodal analysis. Okay, so this is suppose V1 at this node and this voltage is suppose V2, and we are giving the name of the current. Suppose this is current flowing through like this and this one. Means the current direction that we can give according to us our wish. Then now I can write down applying KCL to node 2 here, node 2, directly to node 2, because in this node 1 we can see this 60 volt source will appear here, means simply V1 is equal to 60 volt. The value of V1 is directly here 60 volt. So we are applying KCL to directly to node 2. If it is node 2, now in this node, suppose this current is small I1, this is I, and this is suppose small I2. So here we can write down this I1 is incoming current, I2 is incoming current, and this I is outgoing current. So I can write down here small I1 plus small I2 is equal to I. Again, the value of this I1 is equal to V1 minus V2 by 4. V1 minus V2 divided by 4. It is Ohm's law. Simply V by R. The value of current is V by R. Then the value of current I2, each current is flowing from 30 to V2. So it should be 30 minus V2 divided by 4. And the value of this current I is this V2 minus this potential. And this potential is 0 volt. It is datum node. So that's why it should be V2 minus 0 by 2. And here we know that the value of V1 is equal to 60 volt. So I can put the value of V1 in this equation, and after putting this value of V1, I can find out the value of V2 because that is the only unknown quantity. And if we are finding out this value of V2, I need to find out this current. This is my question. So this current is I is equal to, the value of I is equal to how much? That is V2 by 2. So if I will know the value of V2, I can find out, I will put this value in this equation, and it will be also the value is equal to 11.25 ampere. We can verify the same problem by applying both KVL and KCL, and we are finding out the value of current is same. We have discussed one circuit using KVL and KCL, both KVL and KCL, and we found out the circuit current. And here we can see that it is a complicated network that can be solved by resistance series parallel method. So when we are going for this Kirchhoff's laws, now it will be easier by using nodal analysis and this loop or mesh analysis. So these are the key points that we have studied here. According to Kirchhoff's current law, incoming current plus outgoing current is equal to 0. According to Kirchhoff's voltage law, EMF and voltage drops, summation is 0. And important question that we have solved, that is the statement of Kirchhoff's law, and we have solved one problem using both KVL and KCL. And this is the benefit of laws. Here we can see that when we are going for a much complicated network, we can solve this by using only series parallel methods. That's why we are going for this Kirchhoff's laws, and again some network theorems are also.